According to the ASPCA, each year approximately 1.5 million shelter animals are euthanized. The number of people buying and not adopting pets has been decreasing over the years, but we need to continue our efforts and continue with the trend adopt, don't shop, so that we can continue to decrease the number of people buying from breeders and not local shelters. In case you didn't know, local shelters take in about 6.5 million animals each year. And these animals do not have much time either. Rebecca Wish and Ashley Dillingham, who are veterinary students at Michigan State University, did a research and found that 30 states have holding periods of about 5 to 7 days in shelters, but it can also be as short as 48 to 72 hours before the animal is sold, adopted, or euthanized. Now, there are many reasons to adopt from local shelters as opposed to buying from a breeder, and this includes a lot of these animals were once household pets. Breeders aren't always the best caretakers of these animals, and believe it or not, adopting from a local shelter as opposed to a breeder is overall a cheaper option for you as a pet lover and haver. Now, as I said, these are very, very lovable pets that you can get from shelters. As an example, as you can see behind me, I have some photos of some really, really cute cats and dogs. Now, these are my animals that I have back at home. I have rescued all of them. They're the most amazing pets. They're 4 additions to my family. They are all so well behaved and lovable, and each have their own individual crazy personality that just completes my family. Now, something that makes these pets adoptable from shelters is that most of the time they already come from homes that they were previously in before they were in the shelter. Unfortunately, though, people can be irresponsible sometimes and not thoroughly do their research on what to do when they do bring a pet home. So they bring it home and they realize that they don't have the time or the effort to put into caring for this pet and training this pet, so then they just drop it off at the shelter and don't even think twice about it. Now, a lot of these animals are already trained, which is a really great thing. As I said, they were already in a home, so they've already been exposed to some training, such as basic training like sit, stay, shake, but also house training. That's the first thing that we teach our pets when we get them, is how to go outside to go to the bathroom, or if it's a cat, to use the litter box to go to the bathroom. So a lot of them are already exposed to these trainings, which is great because when you bring it home, you just have to refamiliarize that pet and reteach it, I should say, where to go, when it has to go to the bathroom in your house, and reteach it those basic trainings. Now, another reason that it's important to adopt from shelters as opposed to buying from breeders is that sometimes breeders are not always the best caretakers of these animals. A lot of them do it for money, and so they don't really care about the well-being of these animals. Sometimes dogs, when they're overbred, they can be kept in small, dirty cages because they don't have enough room for them in the house. So they'll stick them in a garage, put them in these teeny tiny cages, and this can stunt their growth, cause infections, and cause health problems down the road. Now, as I said, a lot of these dogs are overbred, so the mom is usually having litter after litter after litter immediately, one after the other, which isn't healthy for the parent dog, and then they pass down those health problems to their puppies as well. And then this can cause behavioral problems down the road also. With being stuffed in small cages and left in a garage for hours on end, a lot of these animals have little interaction with other animals, but also humans. So you bring the dog home to your family and maybe your other pets that you have there, and they're not familiar, so they're not going to respond well, and they might not get along with children or your other animals in your home. Now, another great reason that we should all adopt from local shelters as opposed to buying from breeders is that it's actually a cheaper option to do so. If you adopt an animal from a shelter, you're looking at spending maybe $50 to $200. As opposed to a breeder, you're going to be spending $500 to about $1,000. Another great thing about local shelters is that most of the time they'll pay for all of the shots for the pet that you're about to bring home, and also get your pet fixed as well, so that we are no longer adding more animals into the world than we are adopting them. Another great thing about shelters is that they have the largest selection of breeds and ages for much cheaper price. You can find any kind of breed that you're looking for and any kind of age, from puppy to senior dog, which is a great thing so that you can really find that perfect pet to bring home to join your family. Another thing people don't realize is that purebreds are awesome, but a lot of times mixed breeds have less health problems and live longer than purebred animals, which less health problems leads to fewer vet visits, and fewer vet visits leads to fewer vet bills, overall costing you a lot less money over the lifespan of your pet. Only 30% of household pets come from shelters. And with so many animals entering shelters each year, which remember is 6.5 million, we need to increase the percentage of animals being adopted from shelters. This way, less helpless animals are going to be euthanized each year. There is no reason that we should be bringing more animals into the world already when there are so many sitting in shelters waiting to be brought home to loving families. As I said, millions, they're just sitting there waiting to be brought home, waiting to be cared for, and waiting to be loved. And they deserve it. They deserve the chance to be cared for and loved and to simply survive as well.